the weight I would put on myself, like, because you should do this, because you should do this. You have the strength to do this, you should do this, you should do this.
Like you're Superwoman or something.
Yeah. Come on, no grace, do it, you know?
Yeah. When she's doing all these things to make me happy, and I'm saying, no, you don't need to, you know, like, we're good. I am good. Like,
I would just say what it's done for me is to really see you the way I believe our Father intended for me to see you.
I always had that thought in my mind where I want to say something, but I am cautious if the way my delivery will come across. But it's in my heart. I just want to throw it out there so I'm free of it, right?
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
Because I might have had a wall built up. What I'm so grateful for through this journey is even that wall that I had had to come down. It's like with you, and when those walls start coming down, right? And I know who you are to me.
Right. The intimacy we had or we have now comes from finding intimacy in Christ first.
Amen.
Yes.
Hey, I'm Travis.
And I'm Adelle.
And we are The Noble Marriage. We hope that through our channel, you will be inspired and motivated so that your marriage will be all that God created it to be. Hey, and welcome back to Coffee and Conversations. This one's a very special one for us because we're going to be with our great friends, Priye and Ngozi Orubo. Every time Adelle and I have conversations with them, it is so rich and full of great nuggets. And you and I have had an opportunity to watch them over the last couple of years in their marriage and how they have been able to communicate so much better with each other and just watching them flourish.
Yes, it's been so inspiring. And because of that, we wanted to share our conversation with all of our friends on our channel. And we hope that you guys get as much out of the conversation as we do. So let's listen in.
We are here with some of our best friends in the whole world, Priye and Ngozi Orubo.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We are so excited to have you.
Yes.
You have no idea.
You guys are some of our best friends, some of our closest friends. You came into our life during a time where we had just gone through so much heartache and turmoil. One of the main things I want to speak into you guys that has influenced us is your spiritual walk. And the way that you guys have impacted us by who you're being and how you just love Jesus.
So I was born and raised in Nigeria, and up until I was about 20 years old. And I got an opportunity to go to the UK. That's why I went to college.
Oh, okay.
There is a lot of cultural differences, right? Because you're talking about cultures that date back to several decades and years. Typical Nigerian culture, you have a very strong rooted, you have your parents and everyone involved in your life. Everybody's in your life.
I would say that my culture, so my parents were born in Nigeria and then they came to the US. And so I was born in Houston, Texas. So I would say that, first generation, right? There's a lot of culture that's instilled in the house.
Yeah.
Although when you go out into the world, you're living in an American society. So, there's that battle of, trying to, you have to do what you need to do in culture wise, but then, outside it's something different. So it was definitely interesting for sure.
We just did a video a couple weeks ago where we talked about we were raised different.
Totally
and
different.
The way we were raised has an impact on our marriage now because I expected her to do some stuff that she never did.
Yeah.
And she expected me to do stuff that I never did.
Yeah.
And it all had to do with the way we were raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my mom, she's an amazing woman. She is the epitome of strength.
She is.
Yeah. And she loves so much. And so I remember one of the things that she always instilled, right, was, or she always, pressed deeply was, no matter what, be a mom, cook, clean, take after the kids, no matter how smart, the fundamentals, right? And so it's interesting because when I think about it, like in our marriage, how it was before, it was with love, of course, but a different level of understanding that I have now. I still did those things
Like a duty?
like a duty, but it wasn't a hard duty, but it was one of those things that I wasn't open enough to say, even if I was tired, I would still press to do it. But I would say now, with my understanding now, and I see all of that, it's like, I thank God for how she taught me. That I still have those cores, I still have those fundamentals. And now, with the understanding that I have that he's given me now, it's now done more out of that passionate love, and not as that duty love, but that passionate love. And I'm like,
you want to,
because I want to.
Yeah.
And thank God I can.
Yeah. You're serving not out of duty.
Yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
You're serving. It reminds me of Matthew 20 when Jesus is talking about, in order to be a leader.
Yep.
Yeah.
In order to be a leader, you have to serve.
Yes.
And that's like the highest level of leadership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is serving.
But I remember having conversations with you when we first met about expectations based off of how your mom was such a hard worker and expectations you had for your husband. So share a little bit about that.
I mean, it's like you pile up, the things that you feel like, you have to do. And I think really when you think about it, communication is something that I think is so fundamentally important in a marriage.
Yeah.
Because I could say that probably without that communication, those types of things really are expectations.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you don't have the words to be able to communicate and actually talk, right? Which is something that, no, you're not necessarily taught growing up as a kid.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's you got to get it done. You have to get it done.
Like a task. We're all brought up with this task-oriented mentality.
Yeah, you have to get it done. And I'd say communication is one of the things that, as I say, he guides our steps even when we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
He's doing it. Just follow his steps.
Yeah. Communication was huge for us because I think our relationship, we've not gotten into that conversation, but our relationship, we dated long distance for a long time.
Yeah.
Right, for what, 10 years?
About 10 years.
Is that when
Wow.
you were in England?
Yes, when I was in England, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that impact your communication and your ability to connect as a married couple?
That's why Christ is so amazing.
Right? The transporting.
Yes. Great.
Because he really does supersede everything.
Share just briefly, what
let's talk
life
about
was
that.
like.
I'd say heavier. Heavier.
Expectations.
Expectations.
Disappointment.
Disappointment.
Yeah, disappointment, especially because I know me. I'm somebody that, I like things a certain type of way. And so, I try really hard, to do that.
I know you and Travis are so much alike.
I know.
I know,
So
it's fun
funny.
watching.
And then you and Priye are like, oh, this is so funny. So I think about the way I have certain expectations and the way I thought the way things should be. And and this is not even putting the fact that you should be doing it. It's more so the weight I would put on myself, because you should do this, because you should do this. You have the strength to do this, you should do this, you should do this.
Like you're Superwoman or something.
Yeah.
Come on, no grace, do it,
Yeah, and I struggled with that because I had a counter upbringing, since we're going to that too, because my dad, he's studied abroad a lot, went back for several, so he was away, so he always brought me up, or brought every of his kids up with the mentality of being self-sufficient. So I know we would have conversations about when she's doing all these things to make me happy, and I'm saying, no, you don't need to, we're good. I am good. I want to find ways to serve you as well, but I don't get a chance to, so it was a journey of finding a middle ground of where we're able to communicate openly about okay, you got that one. Okay, I got this one.
Man,
That's where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
I loved watching you guys go through that process
Man.
of really having your eyes opened about communication specifically in a marriage and how you had all these expectations that were in the way
Yes.
of connection and having true intimacy. And so share a little bit about how you found that and what it's like now.
I would just say what it's done for me is to really see you the way I believe our Father intended for me to see you. Mm-hmm. And to know who you are to me. And I'm so grateful for that.
I could see the freedom that you had as you went through that. Because I remember you saying so much, saying the same things that you're saying here.
Yeah.
You would say
It's
over
emotions
here at the
in there.
house, and then you would say how you let go of those things.
Man.
All these expectations for yourself.
And I think verbalizing it too was a big deal. And that's why when we met you guys, the conversations that we initially had before you guys referenced anything to us, right, was around language, around communicating.
Yeah.
Using things like, I always had thought in my mind where I want to say something, but I am cautious if the way my delivery will come across. So I just don't say it.
Yeah.
And then there's this space that creates all this other thing. So I remember you guys teaching us something like, so if I want to say it, I create a non-confrontational environment. So I say, hey, I might be totally off in my assumptions here, right? This what I'm about to say might not make any sense. So, but it's in my heart. I just want to throw it out there so I'm free of it, right?
Yeah.
That is so powerful
Getting
because
it into
what
the
it does now is
goodness.
no matter what wall, at least for me, no matter what walls I had up, I'm like, oh no, this is a white flag. This is a safe place.
Yeah.
That changed our communication because we were able to say things that we would have not like secrets or anything, but just more difficult emotions that would have been harder to
Kept you
communicate.
avoiding certain conversations, that weren't safe to have.
That one transformed our marriage too. Is the story I'm telling myself is this, and it stays on me. It has nothing to do with her, and it opens up an ability to have a conversation. That's not judgmental because I'm talking about the story I'm telling myself. Because that's exactly what I'm doing.
It's talking, it's saying all these negative things.
Instead of you made me feel this way or you did this.
Or holding resentment and then just building that wall up, you know? It's a fortress.
So great.
And I think one of the things that really impacted me so much is that, that the way you felt you needed to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I might have had a wall built up. And so you wanted to create that space. What I'm so grateful for through this journey is even that wall that I had
to come down.
Had to come down. It's like with you,
right?
Under God's power.
With you,
and honestly.
Yeah. Right. I say the same thing. I'm like, why did I do that?
With you?
It's just so much of our past and like not having clarity. And the Lord taking us through the journey of learning like what's important. And so beautiful.
It's so beautiful because it's like this journey that he took us on that I had absolutely no idea. It's like, and when those walls start coming down, right? And I know who you are to me. Right? And then you think about what that is in a marriage. That intimacy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's weird because I think the way it was always been said to me, at least, is, if you are on fire for Christ, it's got to be visible. And whoever you're trying to get married to has to be more on fire for Christ than you are.
Oh, man.
It was this weird, it wasn't a law or any tradition. It was like a assumptions that how things should be. You are so right. I never really put perspective in that because it wasn't anything that was mandated, but So it was the same. It was the same way it was with us.
Yep.
Was that we had that barrier of, okay, what kind of Christianity do we want to pursue, right? Do we just want to stay on the surface and just kind of go through it? And I say this to say the intimacy we had or we have now comes from finding intimacy in Christ first.
Yes.
And honestly, that's another way that he transformed us.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, there were depths that it's hard to explain. It's better experience that explain.
Yeah.
That's what my mom says.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
It makes so much
sense right
there.
now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it did change, and then it just breaks down so many walls that I wouldn't even know were there.
Yeah.
We would stay up talking sometimes, and which we never did, by the way. We would do the typical, I'll be playing video games or she'd be on the
Drifting.
phone. Yeah. And we were in the same room, so there was no big deal.
But we weren't there, yeah.
But like, it takes us forever to go anywhere now, because anytime we're in the same space, we're just ministering to each other.
I love that.
When two become one.
Yeah.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, like you can just see Jesus like flowing out of both of you too, and every time you're around us, we see it, and it's just so beautiful in your relationship. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next conversation.
Bye.
Hey, you're not finished yet.
We're here to make a difference in your marriage and inspire other marriages as well.
So if you found value in this video, please hit that like button and also leave us a comment to let us know what value you got from it. This helps us create more videos that you enjoy.
We would love for you to join our community of awesome, like-minded people.
Go ahead and hit subscribe, and you'll receive videos that will impact your life and inspire you to be your best self.
And please share this channel with your friends and family so their lives can be enriched as well.